What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 15, returns today with a brand new season as our third year at the Vitality gets underway, where our budget for season 3 is 63 mil, but it's gonna rise by quite a bit because don't forget we sold Tavernier and we sold Travers, and after one advance in the calendar, that'll see an extra 36 mil in the budget. So it seems low, but it's gonna get quite a bit higher because, as we know, for some reason on the first day, those two players stay, and I don't know why that is. The transfer window's open, just clearly not for your club yet. You've got to wait a day, but we'll do one advance in the calendar and you'll see the budget be pushed up to, there we go, 94 mil. So the board do skim a little bit off the top, yes, but it's now to 93.6 mil on the back of that 36 mil being allocated. So an extra sort of like 50% there added to our budget. And I'd say that's quite fair and realistic heading into Season 3, being in European football now. Well, just real briefly, our objectives are to... Okay, alright, that's fair as well. Well, that's a bit harsh. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's not. Well, to be fair, come on now, let's be honest. I mean, why not? Why not? Why can't we reach the Europa League final? Yes, our first ever European football, but our team's good enough. Premier League once again finishing Europa League spot. Last year we technically failed the objective because the board only considered 5th as Europa League spot, even though 6th does count to it most of the time like it did last season. And for the FA Cup, won it last year, reached the semi-final. Both of those, all three are doable really. And as we see several players leave on loan as well, Anderson to West Brom, Gillet to Coventry, Aubert to Karlsruhe, Antoine to Famalicão, and then we see the free sales there. I forgot Dennis left on the free transfer, that's our third choice goalkeeper as well. We'll quickly take a look at the squad then heading into Season 3, and it's small. It's definitely going to need some depth, no doubt about that. But for the new season, the most important thing is keeping the band together. I might ask Dominic Solanke if he'll continue to stay if I give him like a massive pay increase. Possibly the same with Kirkes as well. I do predict bids for those two long-serving players there, but yeah, it is going to need a little bit of improvement, that's for sure. But for the most part, we do need more depth. It wasn't an issue the past 2 years because we weren't in Europe. Now we are going to be playing Thursday night football. We need a much thicker squad. Yeah, just a 32 men. So NATO is not going to retire at the end of the season. And I don't know if I'll give him a new contract though. He is the club captain. Lifted the FA Cup with us last season. Bournemouth's first ever major honour. So he'll be edged in history, but I don't know if he's going to get a new deal. I know he won the Golden Glove last season too, but again, going down rapidly. Kirkes still has the exciting prospect tag. He's got 2 years left in his deal, on 17 grand a week. He's got the thumbs down on his contract. What I might say to Milos is, listen, I know you might have some major interest from major European clubs, but listen, I'll treble or even quadruple your wages if you decide to stay here. Lloyd Kelly out of contract at the end of the season, same with Senesi. I think both will go in this summer, at least one of them will as well. Ilya Zabai, he's still growing. He is indeed. And obviously Vinicius, our signing of the season last year, they'll definitely be staying for sure, no doubt about that. I'm going to try and loan out Tom Payne in this window if I can. Louis Sinisterra, might sell him in the summer as I couldn't really get him that much game time last season. Hopefully Hamed will stay though, and definitely Jaden Anthony being a homegrown player. Now it's important to me, the homegrown registration rulings. And Alex Scott shows great potential. He's still going up now into the 80s as well. I don't know what his ceiling is, but for now, continuing to get a little bit better. Ryan Christie might put him on the transfer list for this season. Not sure he's going to stay. He was a handy squad player to have though. And I'll also try and loan out George Sharp as well. So yeah, just a couple of players and deals that come at the end of the year. Well, 5, but a couple of noteworthy ones. NATO, Kelly and Senesi in particular. I don't think I'm going to give new contracts to any of them. I think I'm going to possibly let them go on freeze, or well, maybe not Senesi, but definitely see if anyone puts a bid in the summer. Yeah, both Kirkes and Solanke have 2 years left on their deal. Which means that it is about the time now in modern day football where clubs would say, do you know what, we need to sit down with this player and say, do you want to stay long term? Is Dom still getting better? Oh, he's finally starting to grow again. Right, I'm going to ask them both, man. They were massive for me last season in order for us to finish in the top 6 and win an FA Cup. I'm going to sit down with both. Kirkes, I am going to offer him a monster contract because he is 21 years old, 82 rated, one of the best young defenders in European football right now. If we're talking realism, if no major European clubs are going to come in, which so far they haven't, I'm going to say, okay, what we'll do is we'll give him a massive, massive new contract in order for him to stay here as part of the furniture in Dorset. And that's, even though that's double his wages, that's still too low. In my opinion, he should be on about 65 to 70 grand a week. And I'm actually going to go all the way to the high end, 70 grand a week, and say this is going to be our main piece here in Dorset for years to come. 70 grand a week, massive bumper contract in order to deter major European clubs and keep him at the club. The only way sometimes smaller markets can keep holding their players is by offering massive contracts. Kirke's no exception. Yeah, we see it in the NBA a lot, you know, with the supermax that teams can give out. In order for what you call, again, small market teams, in order to stop their players from leaving in free agency to what you call, again, bigger market destinations such as in LA or in New York, they have to give a lot more money. You know, they've got the ability to with the salary cap, but they have to give a lot more in order for them to stay with the club. I think of Bradley Beal in Washington as a great example of that. For many years, this guy could have been on a contender, at least in my opinion. But in order for him to stay, Washington had to give out one of the biggest contracts in the NBA. You know, of course, now he's a Phoenix Sun, ironically. But even so, Solanke and Kirkes, two players that, based on form, would be more than good enough to be playing in the Champions League. But the only reason they would stay is if they were given assurances of starting roles, senior roles, and a ton more money. They're both staying here for the long term. And that also means what we can do is change Cunha to a CAM now, as he grows 3 ratings to 84 overall as well. I said this in the season finale. The reason I hadn't done it yet is because I wasn't sure on Solanke's long-term future. And if Don was to go in this window, I'll just keep Matthews as an official striker and just start playing up top. But Cunha with the +3 overall increase through that to 84 overall. I would like to get his finishing and long shots higher as well, to be honest. That would improve the stamina as well. And but then again, 5-star skill moves Matthias Cunha. That's hard to turn down. Now, we'll keep on Shadow Striker. I want to get the finishing up to +80 if I can as well. Oh, we got a squad for this season. I ain't even signed anyone yet. And again, I would say for the new season, where we should be looking at improving, well, other than obviously getting more numbers in the squad, it is definitely that long-term success for NATO. You know, his kicking's now down to 69, which is not good enough for the way we play as well in his team. And also a new right back. Frendrup came in to plug the gap for Max Aarons' departure, but I do think we need an official right back, because now Adam Smith retires. Well, we haven't got one. We haven't got an official right back. And yeah, I'd say really that's where we're looking. But also maybe a new backup striker as well, because Dom, if he ever gets injured, God forbid, we're kind of screwed. Like, yeah, we can play Cunha up there, obviously. And Traore played CF a couple of times last season as well. But really, I want a backup striker that's ready just in case Dom goes down. So that to me is the main priority. Getting a thicker squad, a new long-term goalkeeper, a new right-back, and maybe a backup striker as well. Let's see what we can find on the transfer list. Well, I think the number one order of business is getting that new goalkeeper signed ASAP. So we know who's going to be between the sticks. Not just for this season, but for the long term as well. With NATO now the only man here, and of course going down rapidly in his mid-30s and needing a long-term successor, I've got tons of names on the shortlist. I mean, a ridiculous amount. But I have to say, there's a couple that stand out more than others, and I'll explain why. So many of these goalkeepers will be ideal fits for number one. I've got a few backup goalkeepers in mind as well, because we might need one too for NATO long term as well. But there's a couple that really, really stand out, and I'll let you know my thought process behind this as well. Now, I think I'm going to say no to Henderson, because I've had him about 20 times before. And like I said, in this year's FC, I'm trying to make a conscious effort of using players I've not used before or not used many times. I've signed Dean Henderson a ridiculous amount of CMs and FM saves as well. Kind of said you will make a lot of sense to me. Here's why. Atalanta missed out on European football altogether last season, and he's 84 overall and should be playing it. That makes sense. But I believe in the prime of his career right now, should probably be playing for a bigger European club, and someone realistically should put a bid in for him in this window. The two players that I'm mostly thinking of right now are Bart Verbruggen at Brighton, who I've never used before, 22 years old, and the Seagulls had a shocking season last year, finishing in the bottom half of the table and only a few places above the bottom three. And the other player I'm thinking about is Andre Lunin. And the reason being is simple. Fulham last year were relegated. They finished in the bottom three and are down to the Championship. And he's more than good enough for top-tier football. He's 4 years older than Verbruggen, but the same overall. Brighton are a South Coast rival and still in the Premier League. Lunin are down to the Championship with Fulham. I've never used either before. And Lunin is a compatriot of one of our players in Ilya Zabarnyi with the Ukraine national team as well. I think those two factors there, Championship football and a friend in the national team, is just about going to pull me towards Andre Lunin. Maybe not the better choice in terms of quality and age for the long term of the two, but in terms of realism, I think it's just slightly more realistic. We're going after the Ukrainian. Yep, he moved on from Real Madrid to West London in the first season, but unfortunately could not help Fulham stay up in the second season. So with that being the case, well, they want Sinistera. Good luck, Marco. They shouldn't hold me to ransom over him, and he'll definitely want to return to top flight football to stay in the national team and to play European football as well. And yep, Fulham aren't going to hold us to ransom there. We'll go to 18.25 mil. So only 2.25 mil over market valuation. And Marco Silva says yes. Andre Lunin is going to link up with Zabarnyi, be the next Ukrainian in Dorset. I think this is the most realistic of the two options there. If he's good enough for Real Madrid at the moment, he's certainly good enough for me. Yep, Lunin capitalising due to injuries and starting at the Bernabeu, but after moving on to Fulham in the save and being relegated last season at Craven Cottage, let's be honest here, he's too good for the second tier, and he's certainly good enough to be our starting number one for all these years here in Dorset. Replacing NATO with the number and the starting goalkeeper. I'll have to be pleased with this one, right? 4-year, 50 grand a week deal. Welcome to the Vitality Stadium, Andre Lunin. Yet really excited for this. I don't think I've ever had him before. If I have, I can't remember having him, but he is a great shot stopper. Real Madrid fans will tell you that. Sublime reflexes and reactions. Great balance stats with good kicking ability as well, which is really important for us. And at 26 years old, about to enter the prime of his career as a goalkeeper, I'm going to leave him on balance just to get everything up naturally. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. We were looking for the successor for NATO. We've found one. Andre Lunin joins Zabarnyi as Ukrainians in Dorset and here for the long term. There's this thing in Football Manager where you can ask one of your players to endorse a move in order to try and get it to go through if they've got a relationship in real life. And I'd assume that Zabarnyi and Lunin would do, being part of the Ukraine national team together for, well, I think it's going to be many years now, even though Zabarnyi's a few years younger. And I think what I might do as well, he's got 3 years left in his deal on 23 grand a week. He's not happy with that contract, and I can understand why. He's only 22, but a great solid defender and still getting really good as well. I might say, listen, I've just brought in your compatriot, I've just brought in your friend. Why not stay for the long term? Yeah, we'll give him a little wage increase. I think realistically, you can probably get a little bit more than that. Let's say 40 grand a week. We're a European club now. We've got the money to offer these salaries, and remove the sign-on bonus, however. And well, he wants one anyway. Fair enough. 40 grand a week, 78 grand sign-on bonus, and Zabarnyi will be staying long term as well. You know, I think I might do the same to Jack Clark and Alex Scott, our young English duo. I mean, Scott's only on 15 grand a week. Clark's on double that, to be fair, but his market valuation's more than double. So I think I'm going to ask these two guys. Yes, they've got 3 years left, but I'm going to ask them if they want to commit to long-term deals here and stay, because they're so important to our team. Yep, you'll often see when a team takes the next step and qualifies for a European competition, they'll reward some of their better players with new contracts, attempt them to stay. We've done the same with Kirke, Solanke, Zabarnyi, and now Scott and Clark as well. 5 important pieces in our starting 11, all putting pen to paper and signing extensions. So yeah, our budget now has dropped down a little bit on the back of those contract extensions and also the signing of Lunin. 65 mil, but still a lot to work with. But I still do want to bring in a new starting right back. We definitely need one, as Frendrup's still sort of a makeshift right back here. And maybe a new backup striker, and maybe even a new starting DMs. I'm not sure how much better Tyler Adams can get as well to play alongside Alex Scott. All right, let's advance a few days and see what kind of bids we get. So I'm expecting a few, but the first one is a loan offer for our Welsh centre half. I was hoping to get him out to a football league side, but instead we'll try and send him there instead. I don't actually think we're going to get that many offers, to be fair. As well, Manchester United want to bring in Conor Bratt. He was one of my targets actually at right back, but okay. they're a Champions League side, so and they're Europa League. Like us, aren't they 5th place? But even so. So we'll loan out Tom Payne. I don't think we'll get that many bids, to be fair. Now we've extended those contracts, those players aren't going to go. And really, the only other options for teams are going to be the likes of Kelly, possibly Billing, again, possibly Adams. But I guess we'll see. Another loan offer for Sharp, and this time it's from Concarneau, the North French side. I don't mind that at all, to be fair, with them being not too far from us proximity. Well, this is a tough one. So Tom Payne has just gone out on loan for 2 years. We'll keep an eye on him there, but we've just seen a big bid for Matheus Cunha, and it's come from Tottenham. The only thing is, we finished above Spurs last season. They're not a Champions League side, they're a Europa League team. No, not even Europa League, they're Conference League. So whilst they are a much bigger club than us, he's only had the 1 year here, and we're in a higher European competition as well. That's a tough one, that. I'm not sure. If they were Champions League, I'd accept it. But I think because they're Conference League and below us, I'd probably say no. Granted, they're a much bigger club. I do see more bids coming in. If it's a Champions League side, I won't stand in his way. But for now, if it's Conference League or below, I think it's a no. Yeah, I mean, a good example of this is Moises Caicedo. You know, Brighton qualified for Europe, but in the end, he's desperate to leave and join Chelsea, despite the fact they're not in Europe at all. And why is that? Well, they're a much bigger club, and of course, they can give him a hell of a lot more money, like treble, quadruple the salary, huge sign-on bonus, chance to live in London, and of course, a lot of stability. 8-year contract, I think it was for Caicedo. You know, he's going to be settled there. So there we go. George Sharp goes out on loan to Concarneau. Keep an eye on him there as another player leaves on loan. Hugo Gillette has already grown those 6 ratings at Coventry. I love when a player has an overall spike when they join a new team. And for Cunha, like I said, I do think we will get a bid from a Champions League side. And when that happens, I'll let him go. Liverpool, maybe Manchester City, then I'll definitely look to sell. But I guess for now we shall see. Other than that, no bids coming in at all, it seems. Well, with that being the case, I am going to go after my new starting right back then, and with tons of names on the shortlist. Honestly, so many of these would be really, really good fit for us. But there's only 2 that I'm considering more strongly. Well, I'd say 3. Well, okay, 4. Okay, 4 right backs I'm really considering. I've signed Nathan Patterson a few times before. I've signed Brandon Soppy this year in a Milan career mode as well. Connor Bradley's just moved on, so I can't get him anyway. And I've signed Jed Spence a ton of times as well. We just had Kabore in our Luton Town career mode. Aaron Hickey, I have signed him a couple of times before as well. But I would say the best 2 fits right now would be, well, the best 3 fits really. Matty Cash at Aston Villa, who I had in a Nottingham Forest career mode many years ago, but I didn't sign him. He was just part of the Nottingham Forest team as we started with Forest in a lockdown career mode. The English-born Polish international, Valentin Gendry, but unfortunately I can't get him either. And the other 2 will be Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who I do like. Don't get me wrong, 27 years old, we know this guy's one of the best tacklers in football. He's just unbelievable at winning the ball back, especially from slide tackles. And Serginho Dest as well. Dest because he's American and international. I think he was born in the Netherlands, but American international, and that would be great for our American ownership. But I have signed him a few times before. I know. And Wan-Bissaka at Brentford, I mean, that definitely is a really good fit for us. But I don't know why. I could just see him deciding to stay in London. However, Matty Cash, I really like the idea of bringing him in. He's out of contract come the end of the season, which is really, really crucial. 27 years old, chance to get back in Europe, and we finished above Aston Villa the past 2 years as well. High medium work rates, tall, unbelievably good stamina, with a long throw-in rate and great defensive ability too. He's my sort of player. I think he fits this Bournemouth system like a glove. I never signed him before. I'm going to bring him in. I love his hair, I love his drip, and I love the fact he was born in Slough, yet represents Poland on the international stage. A really interesting, unique sort of player with a fantastic play style that fits this Bournemouth system like a glove. I'm buzzing with this one. For £18 million on a 5-year, 70 grand a week deal. I had a contract come the end of the season, but signing a new 4-year one here in Dorset. Welcome to the Vitality Stadium, Matty Cash. Yeah, fantastic hair. And if you haven't seen this guy on Instagram, man, got great fashion sense as well. Really like his aesthetic, and Yeah, excellent player. And whilst to be fair, I'm surprised he's not as quick in the game as I think he should be. I think he should be like having mid-80s pace in my opinion. Maybe I'm being a bit too kind there. He is a really good versatile wing back. You know, going forward, he offers a lot. He can shoot from range as well, as we know, but also defensively, he's really solid too. And most crucially, he's got a great body on him. Really good body. 6'1", good frame, and also really energetic as well. This is my sort of player. I'm so happy to have him here as our long-term successor for Max Aarons. Some of his fits are really clean. Great looking lad. I mean, what's not to love, man? This is an awesome signing for us. And again, our budget now down to just shy of 44 mil with wage budget considerations. It's more like 41 mil. So there's still money to spend. There's still money remaining in the budget, and that means whilst we've got in our new goalkeeper, we've got in our new right back, there's still plenty of money remaining to get that backup striker and possibly a new starting DM or at least a squad one. Yeah, there's still money to play with, man. The transfers, the signings, they're not finished yet. I'll tell you one thing I might do as well is bring in Sam Surridge from Nashville. And you might think, Doxy boy, why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that? Well, it's because he came through the Bournemouth Academy. And as we know, we're in Europe now. We need to worry about homegrown registration rules. We've only got 2 players here that are technically homegrown. Actually one. Travers is gone, hasn't he? So all we've got now is Jaden Anthony. Nobody else. Bevan's too young to be registered. Oh no, he could be registered now. So we've got 2. We've got Bevan and Anthony. We need at least 4. So let's bring in at least 1. Yeah, if we're playing for realism, then we need to consider this. In European football, you have a 25-man squad, and 4 of those players need to be homegrown and trained by the club. I believe that ruling is the same for Conference, Europa, and Champions League as well. Sam Surridge is also out of contract. Oh, 20 mil, I don't think so. Not even in Sam Surridge's wildest dreams is he worth 20 million. 2.5 mil is under the valuation, and we should be able to get it for less than that. See, the attention bar's barely filled up there, so we're gonna lowball, the MLS club, and we should be able to get them to 2.5 mil and say we're not gonna budge on that deal. They don't seem to want to be able to budge either, but 2.5 mil continue to play hardball, and there we go, 2.5 mil, and he's returning to Dorset. Of course, we know there's no such thing as homegrown registration rules in career mode, but if we are trying to do things realistically, then it's something we need to consider. Danny Ings is retired in this save, so unfortunately I can't bring him back, but I can bring back Sam Surridge. A couple of years in the MLS with Nashville, and now returning to where it all began for the English forward. Welcome back to the Vitality. To be fair, a pretty decent Sam Surridge, 73 rated, 27 years old, and to be honest here, he's still getting a little bit better. He's got 83 strength, 79 jumping, he's 6'3", so a different option, and a high defensive work rate. He actually is a pretty decent, handy squad striker to have. He wasn't the plan as the backup for Dominic Solanke, but actually, he's not a bad fit for that role. I'll take this signing. Yep, after Travers and Dennis left in the summer, it means we've only got 3 of the 4 required in Bevan, Anthony and Surridge coming in. And to be fair, there's only really 1 person worth considering for that 4th choice slot now based on where we are in the save. Jordan Zamora, born in England but representing Zimbabwe on the international stage. He'll just be a squad player like Surridge and Bevan and Anthony, but crucially, he fills the homegrown quota. Let's bring him back. Yeah, just like Surridge, out of contract coming the end of the season, so we can get him on an under market valuation deal. Just like Surridge, to be fair, whilst he's not going to start that many games, he'll be a decent little squad player to have. And again, the most crucial element of him returning is that he is homegrown, and that means we've got the final piece. Even though all 4 are just squad players, we now meet those rules. Welcome back to the Vitality Stadium, Jordan Zamora. 25 years old, Zimbabwean international despite being born in England. Low strength needs improving. Stamina might need a bit of improvement as well. But again, he's not going to start that many games. He's just here to make up the numbers, if you will, and fill out that homegrown quota. But to be fair, I like it. I like it a lot. We've filled the quota now, and we also added to the depth 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm like Drake out here. That is a tune, by the way. Like, seriously, that's a Drake song that goes under the radar. 2 birds, 1 stone. Fire. That'll get you pumped in the gym, man, no doubt. Right, so we still got quite a bit of money remaining as well. I think we've got just over 35 mil in total as well. Yeah, so around 35 mil remaining despite those signings there. Okay, maybe about 32 mil actually. But even so, we still do have enough for maybe that new DM we were looking for. For now, we'll advance in the calendar, but I'm really liking how this team is taking shape, man. We've added to the depth, we filled the homegrown quota, and we got the new starting right back and goalkeeper as well. With still a bit of money remaining, and the band kept together, and contract extensions for the key players too. This is shaping up to be a really productive window. It seems nobody wants to stay in my good graces. I'm like a real estate agent putting you all in new places. Academy looking like this. Oh, forgot. Lee Win. He's getting that pro deal right now. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yeah, I must say, this young lad Mackenzie looks sublime, by the way. Annoyingly, I don't think CM is his best position. I think he'd be better off as a left back, in my opinion. Maybe a DM or left back. Crossing's not even that bad. The lack of pace is a shame. I think as a left back, this guy with decent stamina too, he'd do all right there. To be fair, look what happens soon as you tired of me crazy. Are you crazy? Oh man, what a tune! I know what I'm playing first tonight. So Lee Win, here we go. He's definitely going to have potential to be special. No doubt about that. Oh my goodness gracious me. This kid is the real deal. No doubt about that. Stamina continues to improve. That's his highest stat with high work rates. I mean, this is literally a dock signing. He's versatile. This is the mould of a Docks youth player. Oh man, we got to get him loaned out though, because he's just not going to play here. Behind the new man in Matty Cash. I mean, he get some minutes off the bench and in Cup and European games, but really, I want him starting every game. So yeah, gonna add to the loan list. And this kid looks unreal, man. Was there anyone else who I was like, oh, we should give him a pro deal? I can't remember if I said there was someone else I was gonna give a pro deal to. Did I say Josh Park? I might have said Josh Park. I can't remember now. He's 17 years old. Only you've got. Oh no, we got another one now, haven't we? And Joel Goodwin. Whitaker. I'm waiting to see what his potential range is going to be, because right now the gap is too big. Same with Goodwin, to be fair, as well. Look, if we're going to do it now, we need to do it right now. Let's do it. Let's give Park that pro deal and add him to the loan list as well, because he's still got an academy goalkeeper there, just in case we need one. He is an exciting prospect as well. So we'll add him to the loan list too, and get two of our best prospects out. However, for the young lad, Mackenzie, that young CN that we're going to turn to LB, I think at 16 and so lowly rated as well, he'll wait another full year before asking for a pro deal. The others, I'm not totally sure on. But for now, I'll just give those two pro deals out. And I think we might have a year off youth scouting. So I like to take a year off when we've got tons of youth players either in the first team or the academy or both. Clear the backlog, as I like to call it, and then start taking in new players for a following season. Yeah, so for this year, we'll take a year off and then return for next season. I want to get Lee Win to... De Rossi, he spots a wonder kid when he sees one, thinking I'd like him to spend his whole career with me in Roma like I did as a player, but it's no. It's no. I'm sorry, Daniela. He's not going to be the next Roma legend and one club man. Yeah, do you know where I really want to get him? Millwall. That's where I really want to get him. But Joshua Park is going to stay in England and move to the Championship. He's going to join Huddersfield on hopefully a 2-year loan deal. I like that move there. And as we agreed, a 2-year loan deal with Huddersfield, and Park looks as though he's on his way there. Let's play the first game of the season, Community Shield against Man City, as the Premier League winners face the FA Cup winners. And you know the saying, it's a glorified friendly when you lose, but a trophy when you win. Personally, though, I still really want the silverware. Let's get Bournemouth's first in history. Come on, you cherries. Yeah, it's that kind of meme that's been said for a while. And listen, I have said this before. Like, the Community Shield is, it's not the thing you look back on at the end of your career and say, oh, that was the one. I'll never forget that day. That was the pinnacle of my career. It's not how people would see that as young Mika Hamilton goes into the book early. But it is still a piece of silverware. Like, you still get the trophy. You still get a winner's medal for it. And I don't know what the future of the Community Shield is going to look like, because as we know in European football, we've seen, in the Serie A, in La Liga, their versions of the Charity Shield, if you will. Yes, great start. I've been moved. to Saudi Arabia. I think both have now, haven't they? I think Italy's was this year as well. But I do predict the English Community Shield might be moved there at some point in the future. Possibly to America as well. I know that has been rumoured as well. But I quite like it as a day out for the kids as well. I quite like it for a day out for a family too. You know, it's extortionate nowadays to go to a Premier League game, to go regularly. Hard enough to get tickets, let alone afford a game. But sometimes the Community Shield can be a nice little day out for the family, day out for the youngsters to watch their favourite team play. And again, what is technically still a competition, you know. So I have to say, whilst I'm not, you know, I'm never going to be someone that like thinks it's a massive game and, you know, I have to watch it every single year. It is still something I'm glad to see has stayed, as Solanke should have made it too, as a technical competitive competition. So I'm taking Cunha off. He got an injury during the phase of play earlier in the first half, and in a weird way, I'm kind of glad, because it deters clubs from putting bids in. Clubs won't be able to sign one of your players when they're injured, so that means that for now, Matheus Cunha will be unavailable until the injury passes and he's fully recovered. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be a 4-week injury, because that'll rule him out for the rest of the window, and it means that he won't be able to get signed. Yeah, he'll miss a few Premier League games. That's gone just over from Jules Koundé. Yes, he won't be able to play those first Premier League games for us this season, but that's all right. He'll stay until January at the very, very earliest. Still 1-0 here, as we're going to close out Bournemouth's first ever Community Shield. With Traore off the bench, trying to wrap it up, only to be denied by Ederson. Still 1-0, 17 to go. Is there going to be a second goal? And either a leveller to 4 spot kicks or a dagger. Well, it's a minor honour, not a major honour. But it is still an honour. Bournemouth. Oh, no. I don't believe it. Haven't won the Charity Shield. Foden with the last second leveller. And we're going pens. Damn it. Bottled it right at the end. Pens it is. We beat Liverpool in the FA Cup quarters last year, to be fair. On our way to winning the FA Cup. Can we pull it off again, or are Man City going to win it on pens, new like Arsenal did this season in real life, score a last-second leveller, and then win the shootout to nick the Community Shield? I don't care what anyone says, I want this. I want this Charity Shield. Dom Solanke, yes! Gave him the captain's armband for this game. Not sure whether he'll wear it. Full time this season, but he'll want to lift that trophy come the end of this spot kicks. Haaland levels it, Jack Clark to take the next. Yes, top bins from Jack Clark. And it's 2-1. KDB chips it in to level it. 100% so far. I'm going to go to the same corner with Hamid Traore here. Just brought him off the bench. And Traore also scores. Perfect 5 from 5. As Mauro Icardi is next up. And he also scores. Luis Sinisterra. Why mess with a winning formula? If you go to that corner, you keep on scoring, keep going there. There we go, 4-3. And it's Acuna next up. Surely they're going to change this time. No, this is unbelievable. Ederson and Luna getting nothing on this bidding. Now I am going to change it. Oh, it's a gamble, isn't it? Changing things when it's working. Philip Billing, the Great Dane, puts it in. And they've gone to that side, I think every time, apart from one. Are they going to do it again? Phil Foden, who forced a shootout. I'll tell you what, if they go to the other side, I'll be fuming. That's exactly what they've done, for God's sake. I can't say anything. Ilya Zavarny, the Ukrainian centre-half, has it saved by Ederson, and Miretti can win it for Man City. I haven't saved a single spot kick. I've gone the wrong way every single time, and I reckon I'm going to do it again. Oh, it's right down the middle, and Man City have won it. They've channeled their inner Arsenal, 4 spot kicks in the final seconds of the Community Shield, and won it. I've absolutely bottled it. Bournemouth might be a developing team, but it's proof there. We've got a long way to go with the Community Shield slipping through our fingers, but learning a harsh lesson in the process. We are not at this level just yet, but we're not that far off, and that'll do it for today's episode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and we'll return in the next one, and it will be a big one. We'll play our first Premier League games of the season. We'll do the draw for the Europa League group stage with Bournemouth going into European football for the first time ever. We might play the group opener, and I'm sure we'll make some more signings in the remainder of the transfer window too, with just over 30 mil still in the budget, and we'll see if Cunha stays or goes as well. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for a big episode of the Realistic Career Mode very soon.